Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We are expanding the Sassolgrad Canal here in the beautiful Cornoe, in the Rise of Cornoe series. And in the last episode, we started planning out our electronics hub over here. And I'm a little worried that I've done some tests and we're not quite close enough. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to move this. But other than that, in this area, I was kind of thinking we need a few things, right? We need the coal mine. We definitely want to keep access to the coal mine so we can get the coal later as we need it. To be honest, we probably need it already, so we can start planning that out. We also want to do some other industry in this area because we'll have a ton of workers over here. There'll be a lot of workers available here. So I was thinking, one of the things that we're really struggling with is road vehicle and rail vehicle construction. I mean, they're going pretty slow. They're good exports, but they're really just our replacement and the likes is not quite the way it should be. So this is a nice and flat area over here. We could even do some water stuff here towards the edge here for the coal to be exported by water. But we need to bring the rail in. We could ultimately do a little town over here. This is nice and flat for a little town if we needed some extra workers, though this will be difficult to serve. I mean, we'll be able to serve it from over here, but in terms of things like water power, heating, that might be a little bit more difficult to serve, but we should be able to fix that. But anyway, it won't sustain a massive population. Maybe a few, actually, if we do a pretty nice little ring of high density kind of skyscrapers, we might get quite a few workers in here, which means that this could be quite a bit of an industrial hotspot. Now, in order for us to do that, we'll need to get the rail to come in here. If we look at this, if we look at that, it's quite nice and flat. We want to be able to. Are we started construction here just yet? Suspend the construction for now. Let's not construct here. Oh, we've already. No. We've got nothing on site. Yeah, let's just suspend the construction. Right? Let's suspend the construction. I might do a little bit of work here with this, just to see whether we can't squeeze the rail in here, maybe underneath the roundabout. I don't know, maybe over the top. I don't know. We'll have a little bit of a look at that. But what we will need to do is we'll need to terraform things a little bit. So if I go here and just do a little test, yeah, I thought so. Okay, so what we need to do is bring ourselves some excavators to the front of the line here. We've got a bit of a traffic jam, which I'll have a bit of a look at now. I guess it's probably the same stuff that's always the case. So we'll bring this forward so we've got a little bit of something here to terraform. If we wanted to grab ourselves a free depot, we are out of free depots. So where do we have some free depots? Anything over here? Not that I'm seeing. We've got some free depots over here. What is this? Why do we have these guys in here? I guess they were used. Got two and two here, so maybe that's okay. But I think we've also got one. So let's just park this one here. I think this is the one I'm targeting. This is, I think this is so much reconstruction in this area. We may as well send all the extra stuff over here. So go move them out, and we'll look at that. Let's see where this traffic jam is occurring. Yeah, same guy. It is always. Okay, so we'll get that guy out of the way. We can continue moving things a little bit. We should have everything else should be moving, right? The heating problem, yeah, we're aware of those heating issues. So, okay, so those should be moving out. The other side of the spectrum here, sorry, I'm trying to find this again. What? Hang on. Heading in the wrong direction. Yeah, here it is. So this is moved out, so we can go ahead and clear that one. The asphalt rollers in this area is a little weird. What do we do with the asphalt rollers? Anyway, what we'll do is we'll move some of these things over this way. So at the very least, we now have access to a free depot. So give me one of these free depots, park it right over here. And what we'll do is we'll come back, we'll grab these two bulldozers. Grab this one, and grab that one. And we'll come, over here, and we'll grab two of these excavators, one there and one there. The other two should be fine. Don't need a lot of terraforming, just a little bit, a slither of terraforming, if you will. It's probably saving. Yeah, there we go. It was just an autosave. Now let's move. Let's move. Let's move. So please come here. Please come here. I hope we don't need to bring forward any fuel or anything. And please come here. Okay, so now we'll while these guys are coming in, we'll quickly do the moving of this. Now, I think the easiest way is just going to be for me to just move the entire stretch of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go and demolish these two as a starting point. Okay, I'll even demolish that one, and I'll demolish this one just so that I've got a few things that I can copy and paste. So if I go here and I grab the copy tool, actually, we'll start with the other one. Start with this guy, right? So if we said, oh, we don't want it to connect directly up onto this road, right? So if we were, no, I think the right way of doing it will be to leave a little bit of room for another street to pass through here. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do... right, we want to do something like this, right? Do we flip it around? I guess it really doesn't matter how we end up doing it. We'll do that. I'm thinking we'll do... do we... yeah, well... Let's do that so that we can actually leave a little bit of room. Okay, and we'll kind of do this, right? Let's see about that one. Then I'm wanting to copy this, move it there, and at the same time I would like to copy that, move it over here. And then I want to clear out all of this stuff. Yes. 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 So I've been playing Captain of Industry as well. And if you're interested, there are some videos now on the channel of that series as well. And that copy and paste mechanism worked so much better. I wish they would implement something like that. Now, let's do this, right? So what we're after, if we do... oh, this actually would work quite brilliantly like this. We could bring it nice and close, I think. Something like that would probably work, right? And let's just double check we can tie them in. Yes, 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 and yes. Okay. Now I want the other one. Bring me forward this guy. We need two of them. And we want them as close as possible. Yeah, I kind of like that. Actually, let's flip it around. Yes. And we'll do that one. Okay, that's not actually going to work. If we flip it around again, we're going to run into a bit of space problems there. Okay, let's not do that. Let's still have it over there. Let's demolish that one. We'll go back. We'll grab the tool. I guess all of these things have a something that I'm not fathoming. I mean a shortcut key. So if we do this instead, right? This is nice and close. So we could do that. We could flip this around, and we could get it nice and close here as well. I think that would work, right? So let's quickly try and tie them in. This one will work, I'm sure of it. This one, yes, also works. Nice. Okay, so now we've got a new area here. Looks a little bit better. Right. Let's just, for good measure, quickly copy this guy, put it over here, just so that in case we wanted another one, we could grab it. Now, okay, so that's the plan. Right now, we need to bring the... did we want to move the entire thing that way? Let's just have a look. If we go underground, if we brought it nice and center, yeah, I think that's what we want to do. So what I'm going to do is let's think we can copy an entire area like this, right? And if I wanted to move the entire thing here, well, goodness, it's not quite. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll paste it there. It felt like hard work for the game to do that. How do I clear that out? Yeah, there we go. Okay, now what I'll do is I will demolish this entire area yet again. Can I drag and demolish? No, I can't. Do we have we've got like a, yeah, it really just doesn't want to do what I wanted to do. So it's just going to be a bit of a manual process to demolish all of those. Okay. Gonna go back, gonna go and grab the entire, we can't do this, right? No, can't do that. We need the clone tool. We'll run that, bring the clone tool, move the entire thing kind of the midpoint here, right? If we go underground quickly, oh, it's not quite the midpoint. Yeah, I like this more. Okay, so something like that. Wow. That's a bit of a tedious process. I'm wondering, it should be done any minute now. It's just placing them one by one for like ages. Okay. Clear this out. This is not a tool I would like to use regularly because it's a bit of a pain. Okay, now now the plan is we'll get ourselves some tunnels and the likes to get the pedestrians connected into this area. So we want to do a nice and easy pedestrian connection, but we will want to still kind of pass through, right? So the idea is that maybe and we can't go too crazy over there. So let's do that. We'll get it as close as possible over here. That's actually a pretty good spot, right? And then, okay. And then, ooh, this is not quite the plan because we're going to not have this guy access and not have that guy access. Okay, so maybe then the plan is to have, yeah, this is not ideal. I've messed it up. Because this guy needs access as well. So we need to do access here, there. Okay, hang on. Oh, I hate it. Now let's clear this out. Try that one more time. Now I guess the intent is so. No. This. Okay, so go back. Have a look. This guy comes straight out of here. Maybe we can do this and then tie it directly off into that direction as well and over here, right? I think the ideal is, so we could potentially run this guy to over there. I actually want to move it back in this direction so that so we line up on this side. We still have that guy over there, right? Sorry. So let's do this. Let's clear it out again. The tedious process. Well, not as tedious as it is to place the copied stuff. Okay. There we go. We've done this too many times. Now let's try this again. So we'll grab ourselves the clone tool. Now clone tool seems to be a painful thing to apply, and I wonder why it turns it like that. Just makes it more difficult. We could actually, you know what? We could actually turn it a little bit like this. Which may make it a little easier for the... Now let's do that. Let's turn it a little bit like this. Make it a tiny bit easier for some other things as well. Okay, I guess this time around we're going to get it. Can I please deselect this? I'm hitting the escape button and it's kind of not doing anything. Come on, there we go. Takes a bit of time to register that whole thing. Now, okay, doing this, going back, doing this again. Well, hopefully this time, third time lucky. Grab me this one here. So, and if we go underneath, yeah, we can see. So the first stop will be here and there. Yeah, I think this is going to be fine. We'll do this one. We will do... that one. And we will do this one. I'm hoping that will work. Actually, let's redo this one. Give me that. Give me that. Instead of like that, I'm going to do it like this. So that we can get it as close as possible here. Okay. So let's do that. This should work. Now, give me some tunnels. Tunnel from there to there. Nice and straight, 172. Tunnel from there to there, 155. I'm hoping that's okay. Then 152 here to there. This one's going to be the ticker, but I think they're pretty straight now. So now if we put in place some road, some of these connections, this is going to be no problem. Right, that one's going to work. The plan is for this one to also work. And the plan is for that one to also work. Now, going back out of here, popping in here and seeing who can walk where, we find ourselves in a position where absolutely all of them are connected. So that is the plan. That is workable. I will pop in here and we will activate the construction. Why are you... oh, you've dumped 10 tons of gravel in here, which is not the end of the world. Right, even if we lose that, it's not the end of the world. These guys have arrived. No, we're still waiting on some of them to get here. But that is the plan. Now, let's get some road connections in here. What would the associated road look like? I think the idea is we'll kind of run it down like that. Straight over here. We'll kind of turn it in like this. And then I guess we could run it. It's snapping to our highway. I mean, it's not a big deal to snap to the highway. Let's do it. Snapping to the highway, and then we'll turn it away and go back. Yeah, like this, and like that, and we'll loop it back into that road over there. So let's quickly clear out all of the stuff that we've kind of pasted here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I wonder if those factory connections on this side is the real problems. Rid of all of these guys for us. Thank you very much, little man there, little hand. Okay, so with this in place, we can finish off our road network. And so the question is, do we want to do that? Yeah, that's fine. Let's just do this. It's a little awkward around the corner here, so I might just redo that corner. Right, something like that is pretty cool. And what we might do is, obviously, we'll need to do a little bit of this work. We might want to plug it around there. Just a little bit of interest there. And we'll run it nice and close here, so we don't have a lot of kind of space that we're not using over here. Right, so we'll do something like this. This will ultimately need to... Can I just remove this snapping for a minute? Yeah, there we go. We'll do some of this. We'll get this in here. This could be our distribution centers. So this one in there. Nice. All of this connected. There could be distribution centers over here as well. So there we go. That works. So that's our electronics cluster. Okay, so the plan now is for us with these guys here, all of them ready to go. The idea is for us to just relook ever so quickly at what we can do with rail. And I'm guessing if we bring the rail off over here, it'll be nice and close to the coal. We can run it on both sides. So I think the only thing I want to do is just have a little bit of a depression kind of right here probably, and run the rail in through there. So if we just do that, if I try and keep everything else in place and we just get rid of those two, right? And now what I want to do is let's grab this here. What is our level? Let's just make sure we understand our levels. Our level here is at 7. So we want to go to at least 0, which is maybe a little bit of a pain for us because 0 might give us water. Let's have a look. Let's have a look if we could do that. So if we wanted to go to like... Yeah, 0 is water, so we'll have to go just above 0. So let's level the terrain from the center, and we'll take that spot there, right? So that's just over the top of 0 here. Okay. Yeah, okay. So with that in mind, let's put some rail tracks down there. I do love myself a little bit of infrastructure. Actually, before we do that, let's quickly just expand that a little bit more, level from the center. We'll continue to level this one out just a little bit this way because we're going to need a little bit more room once we've cleared underneath these things. Okay, perfect. So I guess that is the plan. That gives us 0.4 and this gives us 7.4. So that is 7 meters down. So I guess maybe that would work, right? So let's align ourselves a couple of rail tracks down here. Oh, I need to switch the snapping back on. Okay, so that we'll get our couple of rail tracks in there. Actually, they need to probably extend. Okay, you know what? Do that again. Do the entire stretch this time. Not quite the entire stretch, but so from somewhere over there to somewhere over there. And then again, like so. I think that gives us reasonable areas here. Now, the plan is to try and... No. Forget about this. Let's try and tie them in. Can't do this. Crossing is not allowed. Really? We're getting a crossing warning. Let's quickly, I just want to get, if I can get these guys out of the way, right? If we get that out of the way, and we try, no, and we try this. It doesn't, what? Yeah, this is the too steep slope as well. Okay, so what we'll do, let's just level it out here as well. I think level from, no. So what we'll do is let's push back like this, right? And we'll average it out a little bit. I think this will make it easier for us to do. But maybe what we'll need to do is we'll need to get the connection off a little earlier here. So if we were to say do that. I'm just trying to figure out if this will work. But I guess this should work. So if we tie off a little earlier. And we... Really? Can I not? It just wants to work straight away like this, right? Ah, there we go. That's the plan. We'll do that. We'll come back this way. So I guess that gives us our little rail underpass into this area. That should work, I think, fairly well. And then we can come back up That's, well, we'll need to come back up at some point, and then where are we going to run it to? So the idea would be that we would run it something like this. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll give ourselves a little slither of rail network to tie into. If we did that, yeah, there we go. There we go. That seems to want to work. Okay. We'll do the same thing on this side. Really? There we go. There we go. So I guess that should be fine. So we'll tie that one in there, and we'll tie that one in there. So we've got ourselves a little bit of an underpass over here, which I'm hoping, yeah, it's not quite going to work. We'll have to do some work on the on the road as well. So if we were to say give ourselves a couple of bridge connections, oh, it actually does work. But I guess trying to do that is a bit of a problem. We may have to just move this a little bit further away. So if we take this snapping off again and we say, well, let's make a little slither starting point here. Yeah, like that. All right, I just want to check. Can we now do this? And the idea being that we'll also want to tie in kind of, come on, autosave. Do that. Switch on my snapping. Okay, so we want to do this, right? So if we did that, right, I just want to check if this will work. Now we'll clear out that middle one. Okay. Now, does this work? Oh, beauty. Oh, beauty. Okay, the other one should be way easier. So let's switch off the snapping here for a second. And it has to be something like that, right? It's a little bit of a... And we go like this, right? And we connect it up. Oh, there we go, guys. Just want to see. Yeah, I mean, it's making it work, but the catenaries are over the top of the road. So it's allowing it, but for some reason it's not actually, it shouldn't be allowing it. But I guess that's what I'm aiming to do. But I guess we'll need to just make this whole thing a little bit smoother. I'm going to try and slow things down a little bit so we don't run out of. So I'm going to pause it just for a second while we quickly do this, because this is going to take us a little bit of time. Just a tad. Let's remove all of this, and we'll remove all of that. Right, we'll redo that. So the idea now is we'll bring it back in. I probably didn't need to do that. Lose 10 tons of gravel. Not that 10 tons of gravel is really much of an issue for us. So we'll continue to run it straight. We'll get the F4 back in here, right? We'll continue to run it straight like this. There we go, like so. And we'll make a turn a little earlier. Oh, hang on. Before we do that, before we even get there, let's quickly raise things up here a bit. So we want to go to maybe 10 meters, right? Yeah, so that's about the level. And similarly, we want to do maybe 10 over here. So something like that. So let's get ourselves the level from center at the 1050. Yeah, that's going to give us exactly 10 meters. Okay, so we'll do something like this. Get it nice and ridgy. And we want 1050 here as well, please. Really? We don't have... there we go. Do it to 1050. That should be fine. Yep. That should be okay. Okay, now the intent would be that we would cut across here. Actually, do a little bit more. I mean, now having it over here and then cutting it this way might be the right thing to do, right? So let's actually raise it up to over here so it's nice and short bridges. Actually, let's do this one here. Now, I think we do need to give it a little bit of an angle. So let's give ourselves a little bit of an angle like that. Like that. Ooh. Just wondering a little bit, can we... Yep, that should do the trick. And we just do like that. Okay, so there we go. We'll remove the middle slither. This should be nice and over the top of it. Yeah, I mean, they're still close, but at least it's not protruding. And now, actually, we don't need significant extra works. That should be the extent of it. So what I would want to do is let's just make sure that we're coming down pretty nicely over here. And on this side, I may just try and kind of push it back a little bit, like so. Yeah, I guess that's about right there, right? And what we'll need to do now is we'll want to get our road connection back down like this. I think that's going to be all good. I think that's fine. It should be pretty... Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, now we would want this somewhere over here, I think. So let's go down there. We'll snap it. Come on, snap it the way we want it. We'll do like that. We'll tie that one in there. That should be good. From that back, I'll get rid of that one. Excuse me. Now let's build our roundabout. So again, we'll start it from something like this, right? So over here somewhere. We'll do to about midway. We'll do the standard tool, the 100 at 180. We need to bring it a little closer, a little bit. So something. Oh, there we go. That's the one. That's the one I'm after. We'll trim back that little slither and we'll tie that together. Actually, that is not wanting to work. Try it on this side. Why is it doing that? It's interesting. I guess it'll work. It's not. It's very close. It's very close to being round. So let's just live with that. So switch off the snapping. Make a start out of there. Tie that in. That's beautiful. Start out of there. That could be a little bit better. What I might actually do is I might leave this one in. And we might just do a little bit more like that. Yeah, I guess that should be fine. Similarly, on this side, we want to bring this guy all the way around. But let's start it off by providing the little tie-in point here. Switch off the snapping. Oh, no. Snapping was switched off. I didn't want to. So what we'll need to do is clear out that little thing there, the little connection point, and then we try that again. We'll just give ourselves a little slither. Over here should be fine. And a little slither over there. I guess this one might be a little bit tight, actually. Let's go back. Let's Let's clear that one out and try that one more time. Autosave. Let's do, yeah, I think that's the better way of doing it. Now, let's try and tie those in. Actually, let's bring it forward a little bit more, and we'll tie, ooh. Do that and do that. Yeah, that's the right angles. If we do this one, yeah, that's a bit of a... We'll slowly bring it in. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't mind us losing the distance between them, because it's not like we're going to make intersections or anything in there, right? So let's do that, and there we go. So that's that one. Let's quickly reconnect this one over here. So if we wanted to, say, do a tie-in like this, we'll get nice and straight. Ooh. Straight again, and then we'll go maybe up to, say, there. That should be okay, and we'll tie in with the smaller little roads. Oh, get the snapping on so you can get the edge. So we'll do something like this, and we'll do something like that. Beautiful. There we go. Our roundabout is back up and in business, and we now have a bridge connection straight to the other side, and we have a rail connection also to this side. So here we may have other kind of crossing points, but at least our primary infrastructure is not crossing the rail directly. So as you can see, all the way along here, we've not crossed the rail directly. We're allowing this crossing, by the way, but we're not crossing the rail directly. Now, what would be interesting is whether we probably do another crossing somewhere over here so that they can get back over on this side. This is a little bit of a difficult one. And here we really don't have the room to cross over the top, right? But ultimately, if we could have a little bit of a bridge down here, that would be better. So I'm just wondering, do we take this whole thing up a little bit? And I guess it's probably not. Yeah, sorry. If we bring this whole thing up a little bit, we can actually get it to cross over here. Is it necessary, though? I mean, got access over there, right? That's fine, but this isn't really... If you're here, right, and you want to get stuff over here, this is... I mean, the distance is there, get it, come back, do. So, similarly, if it was over here, and we go straight across, might be easier. The alternative, I'm just wondering, is we could just bridge straight across the top of all of this stuff and run a bridge in here. And I think maybe that's the right thing for us to do. We could even do it directly off of this road here. So let us go and add some more infrastructure, and we'll just cross everything here. So we've got, what is this? This is dry bulk storage. So we'll leave that in place there, and what we'll do is we'll target this section here. And we can obviously curve it. Okay, so again, back check our levels. We're at about 8. So we need to go to about 18. Right, about 18 is what we're targeting. Right, so if we were to say, let's just switch this on so we can see what we're doing. It's not there yet. Almost. A little bit more. 18.5. So I guess that's where we're heading. If we go straight across to here, we want to start probably in the middle there. Try and get that to 18. 18.2 is what we've got. Oh, it doesn't need to be that high, actually. But we do need to cross this one. So, yeah, that's fine. The rail is... The crossing of the rail is a little bit less finicky than the crossing of the road. Well, I wouldn't say necessarily finicky, but it is a bit of a challenge. So what I'll do is let's trim out this section over here. Need to figure out... I'll leave that in there. We'll trim out this. We may do completely different setup here. So let's just do that. We might do, yeah. We'll bring it in this way a little bit because we're going to have to hug it on this side. So this one will turn to come this way. So bring us up. Might have actually left it there, to be honest. So we can use it as a guide, but I guess we can make it a little tighter. It doesn't have to be challenging. Come on, autosave. Almost done there. There we go. That should be okay. Now, what we'll do is we'll level from the center. We'll try and get it nice and close to the road. Okay, similarly, this one. Okay, before we do that, let's just give ourselves a little bit of ghost tracks out here, right? Something like that. And we'll get ourselves a ghost set of roads like that. And I guess this one is already up there. We won't worry too much about that one. But for this one, let's do that properly. From the center, we could basically start on the turns here. And then this one we want to bring up nice and close. So I guess that is the plan. Okay, now give ourselves a little slither of road. It's just going to be a 1. I want it to be pretty straight. So let's do that. That first one is pretty straight, and then what we'll do is we'll make a curve here, and we'll try and do that and curve it even more like that, right? So if we do this, I'm trying to wonder if that'll work. Okay, so let's grab ourselves a bit of a bridge. We do need kind of these guys. Yeah, it's actually not straight at all. And this one. But I guess that works quite well. What kind of bridge is this? This is a concrete bridge. We've got concrete. Prefab bridge. I mean, the prefab bridge has to be straight. So we're not gonna. None of this is gonna properly work. I'm just thinking this might be a little. We don't necessarily need it to do that, right? We could trim that. We could even trim that and say, well, guys, that is the curve. And now basically we're running you down like that. Actually, let's do tie-in with that one. So let's go back. We'll give ourselves a little bit of a straight section there. Then what we do is we do this. Let's do that. In which case we can tie in like this. We can tie in. We can bring this guy. Actually, we can bring this guy in like that. I'm a little in two minds about this. Let's move this away a little because I think it's now a little close. If we did that and we said actually start it over here and we do this. Started. Just forget about the wrong button. F4. We'll do that. Give ourselves a little bit of room there. Yeah. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll tie this one in like so. So at least there's a little bit of room between that. Not that this is going to be the busiest thing, right? And we're tying that one there. So we've got our bridges in a reasonable positions. They kind of work. Okay. The only other thing we need to do is get this guy to kind of get out to this side. So let's support that a little bit by averaging some heights, to be honest. Okay, I guess that should be enough help. So let's try and... get you there. So that's a bit of a connection, a little closer connection we can get fairly directly. So if we get our guys in here, let's just redo this thing one more time. I'm not a big fan of what I'm seeing here. So let's do that. We'll trim this guy out over there, right? So let's bring that one. So actually, let's give ourselves a little bit more room here. So let's do that. Let's do this. None of this is built. We could slowly get ourselves over there. Get this guy to tie in like this, and we could do that. Right, nice and straight. Moved away a little bit. It may still be a little bit challenging, but at least we're kind of respecting the topography here. So let's trim this one out. We'll get those rail connections out of the way here. Ooh, I want to demolish the rest of our rail network. There we go. And we will go ahead and activate the construction here. Here we go. So that actually gives us proper connectivity to the other side, and I will leave the episode there. Very infrastructure heavy episode. In the next episode, we will continue, obviously, construction journeys. We'll keep an eye on these kind of things. Let's have a quick look. This is actively working. There's tons of people working here. I might trim that down to like the bare minimum. But they've got everything they need. They're not complaining. Over here, they're not complaining either. Though this guy, I don't think has waste collection nearby, so it might be a little bit of a stretch. This guy has waste collection. Yeah, and so waste collection should be underway, no problems. Construction, guys, is doing its thing. We've got a police car hanging out over here. Wow, look at the sheer volume of these buses. Anyway, this was a temporary kind of issue, right? This one here. Everything here has been built, so lots of people moved in. Our population is growing, so definitely ready to start implementing some stuff. This is a nice little neighborhood to live in. Look at the little fountain. What is this? This is a sports hall. Yeah, sports hall, so people can do their things. We've got the hospital in operation. The schools are up and running. The police station is pretty busy. There's lots of crime happening over here. The fire station is ready to go. So we're in a good spot. Garbage is overfilled in this location, which is a little... Okay. I thought it was connected to that. So let's see. Can we... I don't know if any of this is really gonna... Where's your garbage going? Going over there. It's a little bit far, so we may find that we don't really have a spot for this guy to operate into. But let's see. Maybe there's a little slither that we can make. Ooh, we can't tie it in over here, and we can't come out that way. So it has to be on this side, and there's nothing here. But this guy also needs some support. So I guess we might put a little slither in here because it'll cover off a few different spots. So let's quickly do that. Before we end the episode. So I think we can make it work in here. Yeah, I think it's just going to have to be... I was hoping to get it a little bit... Yeah, I guess that's the plan. So we'll get it going over there, and for this particular piece, I will just pay for that. So we've got that up and running. We get some biological waste to be picked up here. Actually, we need more. Give me some more of them. This guy should now be accessible there. Is it accessible from this one? It is. So I guess that helps us out a little bit over here. And plus, if we build something in here, they'll have access to that guy straight away. So that's pretty good. So we've figured out that issue. As these guys get closer to completion, we also need this guy to get closer to completion. And it is. So what I might do... Oh, the helicopters are building here. So let's make sure we add... a little bit more support from other offices. So let's go ahead and finish this construction. And then what we might do is we might add the local construction guys to come in here, bring some more workers and things, just so we get that built a little bit quicker. The other thing I want to do is let's quickly limit some amounts over here. So we're going to say 0 there, 0, 0, 0. We're going to have like 50, maybe 60 over here, 20, 0, 0, 0, 15, and let's make that one 25 instead, 25 and 0. And we'll end that one off, and that gives us 60 tons. Yeah, that's a good numbers over there, good numbers. And that one's there. So what we need to do, however, is we need to just set up. Okay, let's clear this one out. We've got a distribution office somewhere, right? Is this the big distribution office? Is this who's doing distribution here? Let's just quickly see. So who's doing this distribution? Liverpool big distribution, right? So it's over here. It's this guy. This guy is doing the distribution, so let's just add to its delivery spot this maneuver here. Ooh, please don't do that. Go and unload instead to yeah, whatever you can do, Molodok. So let's do that one. That's fine. What we also wanted to do is fix this. So let's clear out this little slither here. We will connect our path. I think it'll flip around to the other side. Yeah, it did. Okay. And what we'll do here is we'll tie in these guys. Tie them in like so. We'll pay for that. And we will make sure that this guy has access over here. We'll pay for that as well, so that we can do some maintenance and the like. So anyway, there we go. So now we've got some proper connectivity running through here as well. People should be able to get access in a few different locations. We could also do maybe something like this and give ourselves a little bit of a fountain in there. I'll pay for that. I will do a little fountain in that spot also. No, that's huge. That's too big. It's like tiny fountain place, this one. Do we do a fountain or do we do a statue? Yeah, maybe we put a little bit of a Lenin in there. Let's do the copper Lenin. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Put copper Lenin in there. I'll pay for this one, and but the rest of the construction can slowly do its thing. But at least we've got, because this is the Communist Party headquarters, I think that's a good spot. This is kind of like almost a primary access on this side, so it's good to have a bit of a Lenin in there. Let's switch off those lines so we can have a bit of a look at what we've done. We haven't really achieved much, so lots of construction will start to happen over here, but I'm happy that we've made room for our stuff. We will want to loop. I think what we'll do, this will be become a loop so that we can properly make use of whatever we've got in here. There may be a town over here with some residential traffic, but ultimately a bit of a loop here could be quite good. It gives us lots of access points and things, and it's kind of the end of the line. But yeah, we've got lots of rail infrastructure here that we need to build. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Do leave your comments down below. What do you think of our plan to make this industrial peninsula? And yeah, and tell me what you think of the Sasselgrad Canal. Do you think it's pretty cool? I like it. I like the fact it's good that we've got the little path there with the lights, because in the evenings this is pretty dark. So it's good to have the lights just set back to it over there. You can see it over here. We need some power substations over here, but it's looking pretty cool. I like it, and it's already starting to take a lot of shape. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, as I mentioned, please hit that like button, leave your comments. See you next time. Bye bye.